is a show that focuses on the person behind the Brony. I'm your host, Osaka Jack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest Brony. Hello everyone, this is Osaka Jack with Into the Spotlight on Everfree Network. With me today I have someone who I believe I've spoken with a family member of his at some point, but we're not allowed to talk about that person because of the taboo issue. No, I'm just joking. Baasik, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for not bringing up this person that you have talked to before.
Yeah, I have no memory of what you're talking about.
Good.
And no memory of this person.
Good. Let's just pretend he doesn't exist.
Yeah, I have no memory of this person that may or may not have lived in the same country as I do and never visited me.
Never would he do such a thing because he doesn't exist. So how could you visit?
Exactly. Yeah. That's forgivable. Yeah, a person who doesn't exist not visiting. There we go.
There it is.
I'm reminded of the Shel Silverstein poem where he said that nobody is my best friend because nobody cares and nobody's there and nobody is always listening to me.
Oh,
so I love nobody.
Now that just got really depressing all of a sudden.
It's deep because later in the poem he says that he woke up and all of a sudden nobody wasn't there. It's like, what?
Whoa. I haven't thought that hard in a long time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's okay. You know what? It's a new day.
If anybody is not familiar with you, can you describe a little bit? Who are you? What do you do?
Sure. I go to the Naval Academy. I go by Nate. To most of the people who I guess comment on my YouTube channel or whatever. I didn't know what electronic music was before I came to the Naval Academy.
Okay.
I was actually introduced to my first music program when I got here from a good buddy of mine who introduced me to Deadmau5, who I'm a huge fan of. And I'm actually, cool story, which I'll go into later, I'm actually in the process of getting him to come to the Naval Academy to perform. So nice. I'll get to hang out with him and talk to him, which I'm really excited about because I'm a huge fan of him. And
right.
So anyway, yeah, way back in the day when I started doing music on FL Studio and Ableton, which are my two main music programs, I wrote this little, I guess you would call it dubstep song when dubstep was kind of getting out there with Skrillex and Feed Me and all that stuff. And I brought it home to show my brother, and this is when he was first getting into the community, and he was, obviously my brother, who we're not allowed to talk about, is Black Griffin. Gabriel Brown. So he showed me this, he showed me what he was, doing in the community, and it was very intriguing. And he was getting a lot of followers and a lot of attention. He said, "Oh, hey, let me take this song that you're writing and let me, work it into this fandom." And I was like, okay, I mean, why not? So I took some samples and I threw it into this song, and it was literally a song I wrote in just a couple hours. It was an experimental track.
Right.
And it turned into Dash Step, which actually exploded on his channel. I didn't put it on my channel for some reason because I didn't really have any faith in it. It was just a crap song. So, which was pretty interesting. And then I started writing other music, and my followers were all really coming from this one community, this fandom. So I felt obligated to, write more and more music for them. That's why I've been working with Michelle Krieber. So I've been working with my brother a lot, and that's really why we're doing Immortal, because I think we owe it to everyone who follows him and who follows me to, make more music for these people, because I love making music.
I would hope that in addition to, because you feel you need to, I would hope it's something you enjoy doing.
Absolutely. I love nothing more than to, sit down, and it sounds tedious. The music production side of it is it does take a long time, and it doesn't have to, but I'll sit down on a computer, probably close to 3 or 4 hours a day, and then when I finish a track, I'll probably scoop out 6 or 7 hours in one day, and I'll just sit down and I'll just focus on mastering a track. And then I'll send it to my brother, after like a week and a half, 2 weeks of actually producing the track, and I'll say, write a melody and some lyrics, and he'll do that, and he'll send it back in 2 days, and I'm like, how did you do it so quickly, But he's really good at that. He has all these ideas stored up in his head, and because we haven't really gotten together to discuss this stuff, he just throws it all on there and gives me a million ideas, and then I have to filter through all these different vocal samples and put them in the tracks. So,
right.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
That's good. That's good. I mean, it is very much appreciated, and we all like it and stuff. But I would hate to hear that you're doing it just because you think you have to. That would be depressing. For me.
Yes, it would. Almost like I'm being forced at gunpoint by my brother to write songs. No, not
10 seconds flat. I don't want to say it. 10 seconds flat. I don't want to say it.
Exactly. So it's not like that at all. I think I hear your cat in the background, and that's
I'm gonna
great.
edit that out. Sorry.
No, that's fantastic. I love just keep her in the show. Cats are fantastic.
All right, yeah. Cat, do you want to ask a question, or do you want to shut up now? Okay.
Now she wants to shut up. Yeah. So the other few tracks that I'm doing for Immortal, like a little insider's look. The album will have 15
And hold on,
tracks.
before we do that, I think we should mention flat out that Immortal is an upcoming album.
Yes.
That's well, I'll let you speak.
Yeah, it's me and my brother's first completely collaborative album. So we're both super excited. My brother has done a few songs here and there, or he'll do his own work. I've done a few songs here and there, but every song we end up doing together seems to work really well within the fandom for some reason. I'm not sure why, but Crusader.
Well, it sounds good.
Thank you for that. Crusader and Faster Than You Know, which were both kind of our inspirations to start writing the album. Just happened to people really enjoyed it, so we loved that. We love making things that people want to listen to. We have a bunch more in the works right now. I have, unfortunately, I'm looking at my list right now. I have 6 more tracks that I haven't even started to produce yet that have to be finished by, whenever our deadline is, which is early this year.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be working pretty hard this semester. Let's just say that. Right. So, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
You mentioned that it wasn't a specific release date, but you're aiming for the first half of the year.
That's correct. The first half of the year, which is a huge, it's a good time frame because it's not an exact date because otherwise I'd feel pressured and the songs may not come out exactly as I want them. So if people who do listen in, I would like to apologize first that that Immortal won't be coming out January, February. I constantly get these Twitter messages saying, I thought you said it was going to be out in January. I said, no, I said it would be out next year sometime early, Right. So I was obviously me and my brother were shooting for February, but just because of the logistics of him doing the voice, him working with the Creepers, and me going to the academy, it's just a lot of work between all of that. So we're trying to push this out as fast as possible because we really want to have at least something out before the summer because we're both going to be attending a few cons. We'd like to have our album out by then. So
sure. That makes sense. And it sounds like it's something worth waiting for.
I hope so.
I have to mention, though, I noticed this yesterday when I was doing a little bit of brushing up. Faster Than You Know is one of the more recent ones. Before that was Crusader.
Yes.
And before that, the track Paper Sky.
Yes, Paper Sky.
I've got all 3 of those on my iPod, and I really do enjoy them. But I noticed something when I listened to them back to back. You like to cut your brother's voice up.
What a great observation. Yes, that is so true.
Each one of those in the chorus, it has not a complete note of but more of
Yes, that is very true. You're the first person to actually tell me that, which makes me very happy. Because I do that. It was actually with Paper Sky, which was inspired by a bunch of different songs at that time. I was really into Zed. I don't know if you know who Zed is, but he's an excellent EDM producer, and he came out with an album called Clarity around that time. And it was just a very inspirational album to me. I loved it. I ate it up. I bought it as soon as it came out. So with Paper Sky, I tried to write this more mainstream style sounding song, and this one part, and my brother's having all these clean vocals throughout the song. I really wanted to just change it up right there. I wanted to show people like, oh, this is different, this is new. I wanted his voice to kind of turn into the synth, and I love doing that. There's something about the element of surprise when it comes to tracks that just makes people want to listen to that again. The first time you hear Crusader, and it's this acoustic song, this pop song, and then you hear the voice chop up and match with the instruments. You're kind of like, oh wait, what was that? Like, was that a glitch, or was that supposed to be there? And then you listen to it again. And when I first did it, it was I wrote the track. Just I played the guitars. It was a really easy song to write, and all I wanted, I'll normally find one part of melody that I like, and it was the little "Are we there yet?" part. So I recorded. I was like, Gabe, you can write anything you want for the melody, but this has to be in it. Like, I have to chop up your voice at least a little bit. And so he was down with it. We ended up doing that, and there will I know you're looking forward to it. So there will be much more vocal chopping in the album.
Yay!
So there you go. You have that to look forward to. So
I'm anticipating like the thanks credit. There'll be an extra track. Just we would like to thank all the people who worked on the track.
I was thinking about making the whole song. You won't even understand a word he's saying. His whole voice is just chopped all the way through. But the cool thing that I'm really excited about Immortal is that there actually will be a couple tracks that are very acoustically driven. So he'll be very clean vocals. So we wanted the album to have a lot of variety. So people, who appreciate all genres can find something they like off of the album. So, there will be dubstep for people like dubstep. There will be this kind of acoustic-y pop sound for people like that. There will be even almost like an indie electro type sound, which I'm really excited about. I'm producing right now. And then, of course, just...
Where's my polka?
You know what? I haven't thought of that, but I guess we could throw in a polka track just for you. Just for you.
Yay!
And maybe I'll chop his voice up just a little bit, maybe at the end. You know what I mean?
I've never heard it, but I'm just imagining it now. I honestly believe that a dub-stepped accordion would be the deepest bass sound ever to exist.
I think that is probably the smartest thing I've ever heard in my life. That is something to look into. I'm all about that experimental stuff. Every time someone sends me something or asks me, hey, have you ever done this? I instantly just, why not? Just try it. There's so many options out there. When you have a program like I do, with every sound in the world, and you can combine all these sounds. It's just the world is your playground. That's how I see it. When it comes to writing music, I love experimenting all this stuff. It doesn't necessarily follow a guideline or a set of rules like a lot of songs do, and but I don't really care about that. I don't want to follow that. I want to write something new. I want somebody to listen to, like, oh, this is this is interesting, this is different, so.
Yeah, I personally love it when somebody takes a combination of instruments that I never imagined before, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
There's a great track that I've got. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's by a Japanese group. They don't have any percussion, but instead they have this guy playing the shamisen, really just in a fast, repetitive motion. And it works. It's cool. Beautiful.
That's very cool. Huh.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to send me that.
Okay.
That's really cool. Like I love that. I always look for songs like that. And then obviously there's something beautiful about a lot of people don't understand true EDM music. Where it used to be back in the day when EDM was very underground. The song would go on for 8 to 12 minutes, and it would just be a thumping bass drum at 128 beats per minute. And just a really solid bass, and then just a small trans pluck over top of it, and that's what it was, and it just repeated itself literally for 8 to 12 minutes, and it would maybe it would change a little bit, to get some cymbals here and there, and some hi-hats would come in over top of the kick and snare, but that was it, you know what I mean? And I really didn't understand that at first, and it kind of I was like, who would listen to this? Like, I don't understand, like, where is it going? It's not going anywhere, But I eventually started to appreciate, the beauty of those tracks. And, I try to write it, but a lot of people don't understand it. And they're like, what is this crap? So, yeah.
I'm reminded of the Strong Bad.
Strong Bad. What a fantastic reference.
The system is down. The system is down, 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 down. Dirt, 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 dirt.
Oh, man. Those were good days. I haven't actually been to Homestar Runner in a long time.
Actually, last week was the 3-year anniversary of their last update.
Really?
Yeah.
So wait, have they been? Are they shut down or?
Well, the brothers have actually gotten jobs with Disney.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
They've gotten jobs with Disney, so Homestar Runner probably won't be updated anymore. But
Oh man,
it's still there, so people can go. Seriously, guys, go to Homestar Runner, click the random button, and enjoy. The emails are wonderful.
that is, yeah. Oh no, everything on that site is pure gold.
Oh yeah.
It's fantastic. I would entertain myself for days on end with that site. So that's fantastic. Wow, I had no idea they're working for Disney now. That's
and you
cool.
guys can enjoy the loading games.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people listening wouldn't understand what I'm saying, but what it is the video would load and it would take a few minutes. So they made a small flash game for you to play while your video is loading.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Things used to take time to load on the internet.
Yep, and now like you just want to play the game, like you want it to load even more. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Why is it loading so fast? Like I had to play this game. Yep.
Well, we touched on it real fast, but the name that you have, Baasik, you were explaining to me earlier that the idea on this is just you're getting a basic overview of electronic music.
Right.
And
yeah.
I don't know why, but it reminded me of the band Garbage. In that their name was chosen because it was essentially three people who had gotten together, and all of the sounds on their tracks were things that other people had tried to make and had gave up on and just kind of screw it, I can't use this, and thrown it away.
Really?
So it was the garbage that nobody else wanted that they used and made into music.
No way. See, I've never heard of that band. Wow, I have to look into them definitely. But
yeah.
Huh. That's
okay. Another band that I have to send you garbage.
Yeah, okay. Send basic garbage, please. Everybody.
That sounds odd in and of itself.
Yes, it kind of does. No, that's I guess kind of how my name came about. It was totally experimental. Like I didn't intend on uploading any of my stuff when I first wrote it. Right. Actually, one of the first ever songs my brother put up, I think it actually might have been his first upload as Black Griffin, was Ode to Your 80s, that Breach song. Okay. So I think like DJ Pon 3 like did something of it. But it turned into like, I don't know if people liked it, but it was literally, I think it was the first song I ever wrote, and I never wanted to release it because I was embarrassed by it. It was bad. It was a bunch of these 80s songs all mixed together, this electronic fashion. And then I did that. I did Dash Step, and those were all, I never intended to release those. But I mean, it was really thanks to my brother, because he was the one who was brave enough, to first put them online.
Sure.
Right. And when I realized, people appreciate, the music for the thoughtfulness behind it, not necessarily how masterful it sounds. So, especially this community, and I'll tell you that, like, I've never, I've worked with other communities, and I've seen, like, I'll go to other channels and I'll see like EDM artists, talk to those people. And this community that I'm involved with, that me and my brother involved with, is extremely accepting of, all of that. If something isn't quite up to par, like sound wise, they'll find something else to appreciate instead of just ratting on that one thing or insulting that person for not doing that well. And that's one of the things I love about it, because I can be myself and be creative, and I know I won't get, I won't get crap for it. So
right.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. Though, to be honest, I mean, you were telling me of the effort that you put in finding the different. I admit most of it was over my head, but you were talking of filling the frequencies.
Yes, filling the frequencies. Well, that's today. We're back in the day. I could spend maybe a day. I could do 4 hours and I could have an entire track done, and I'd be satisfied with it. I can't spend less than, a cumulative, like all the hours put together, probably 16 to 24 hours. I can't spend less than that amount of time on a track now before I put it online, just because I've gotten extremely nitpicky. And while I think that's annoying at times, because I don't have that time necessarily to get rid of, it's at the same time I feel good about it, because I know that each track I produce is going to be better than the one I just released. So
that's a good point.
So that's one thing I like. I guess I rationalize it to myself. It makes me feel a little bit better about it. But I'll finish a track and I'll be like, all right, I worked 42 hours on this track. I'm really excited. I'll upload it, and then it just like won't do well, and I'll be like, oh. And I mean, it's okay. I understand. Like some tracks just don't do that well, and some tracks do. Like Dash Step, where I took 4 hours. This song that I'm going to upload tomorrow. Tomorrow is in. The 10th.
10th, right.
Well, I probably put in 38 to 40 hours on this track, and it's actually a remix of a track by Philip Phillips, who's a country artist.
Okay.
Not a huge.
I'm actually familiar with them. That's the person who did I Swear I'll Make This Your Home.
Yes, that one. His next biggest song is called Gone, Gone, Gone. I think it was released last year.
I don't get a lot of American music here, but that one was actually playing in a shoe store, and I had to stop them and ask, who is this?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Yeah, that's a great song. I took one of his songs, and I don't know. I'm sure you've heard of Avicii.
Okay, yeah.
He does this whole idea of taking country music and kind of turning combining it with this electro house type style. So I did that with the song I'm about to release, and I've spent a lot of hours on it, and I feel like it's at a point where you can play it through tiny little headphones, and you can play it through a system at Ultra Music Festival, and it'll sound good through both systems, because I try to go through that. I go through my desktop speakers, my headphones, my studio speakers. I go through everything I can before I can get the sound before I put it online. But I'm sure like that it won't reach that many people. That's okay with me. It feels good to me, to finish the track and be like, okay, now I know I'm this much closer to getting a better sound. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Huh. But yeah, you mentioned it. We're releasing a track tomorrow.
Yes, I am. It'll be called. Well, it's not an original. It's a remix, but it's called "Gone, Gone, Gone" by Philip Phillips. So if you want to go to just type in Baasik "Gone, Gone, Gone" and it'll be right there.
Well, if they're not subscribed to your channel at this point, they should be. So go check it out. Baasik. Yes.
Yes, the double A, the symbol that I don't know how it came about, but it just did one day. So
I'm guessing it's just an attempt to be first in alphabetical order.
You know what?
You want to be ahead of all of the other people named Baasik in the world, so we're going to put double A's right here.
If I probably would have done triple A's. I'm hoping.
Oh yeah.
See, I could play off the double A, like triple A battery type scenario. I could just put a B, then like a battery symbol, and then SIK. I never thought of that. That could be something.
Ooh, that's a good one. Apparently, there are B batteries somewhere. Just they're only used in a very specific manner.
Really? Well,
yeah, that's what I heard.
Learn new things every day. That's pretty cool.
Or you could go with Dimitri Martin, who said that he believes there's no B batteries because you wouldn't tell if somebody was asking for a battery or stuttering.
But
I'd like some B batteries.
That's a very good point. Wow, that's pretty funny. Nice. Yeah.
One of the well, I guess it's more memorable if somebody saw it, but they might not have seen it. But it's a good story. You attended, and I'm sorry to mention he who shall not be unnamed, but you showed up by surprise at one of Black Griffin's panels at a convention he was going to.
Yes, I did. It was actually BronyCon in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. That's the one. He flew in from Japan. I hadn't seen him in a year, and he didn't know I was coming. But I was in Annapolis at the time, so I drove up for the weekend, and I surprised him. I ran up. I was actually Rob Bob. I don't know if you've talked to Rob Bob, but he led me to the panel, and I went over to the very front of the audience, and I was sitting there, with all these people, and I was calling his name out, for 15 minutes, just shouting, Gabe, at the top of my voice. And these people were looking at me like, who is this guy? Like, why is he shouting Gabe's name? And finally, I don't know what got his attention, but he saw me and, freaked out. It's on YouTube. It's somewhere. And he's like, oh, my brother's here. And him and Mike the Mike actually opened the gates and brought me on stage where the panel was and sat me down at the panel, which I was not ready for it all.
Right.
And I wasn't at that time last year. I wasn't anywhere even close to the artist on the stage. So it was very cool, like to meet. I met Alex S for the first time. I met Tombstone for the first time, and it was very cool. And then for the rest of the night, I was backstage. I actually performed with Gabe and the Creepers that night for the first time too. So it was kind of like a big surprise for me too. So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
And more recently, you've performed with the Creepers and Gabe in the DC concert, right?
Yes, that is true. At Jeremy Spicer's house, actually, it was going to be in DC, and then there were some complications, with Canada and all that stuff. I don't understand that, but that's how it works. So we ended up holding it off in. It was somewhere in Virginia. I'm not entirely sure where it was, but it was an awesome time. This really beautiful venue, and I was on the guitar most of the time. Michael Creever was on the piano. Puddington Kenobi was actually there. He was on bass guitar, and then Gabe and Michelle and Monique were there too. So it was a really great time. It was supposed to be like, I think, an hour concert, and we stretched it to about 2.5 hours, just because you know how Gabe and Michelle, when they get on stage together, they just
yes
they have a lot of fun. So
I get the feeling that if we ever did a revamp of Whose Line Is It Anyway, just put them on stage and say a single word, and just come back a few hours later, see what's going on, and
I would
find out they've made an album and a play and a 3-part musical, and
exactly. Exactly. And it's a pleasure to watch. It is. However, when it goes on for 3 days, which it did when I was there, at times it's like, okay, guys, it's time to focus. Like, I have no idea how Monique Creever, just the most wonderful person ever. I don't know how she handles. They were in LA and Vancouver, and down on the East Coast, and she had to deal with that the entire time. I dealt with it for 3 days, and I was practically insane by the end of the weekend. So it was a lot of fun, though. I had a great time. So it was a really cool experience for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be just chaos, but sometimes you can control it. Just not for long.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
are there? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, with the whole guitar and piano thing, what the weird thing is, I was hoping to DJ, and because that's what I do at my college. I started a DJ program here.
Nice.
And we're the premier DJs at the Naval Academy, and we bring artists to the academy to perform. So I've actually had the pleasure to meet a lot of really cool people. I don't necessarily think they're fantastic musicians, but they're great people. So, Maroon 5, Katy Perry. I got to meet Wayne Brady, which was pretty cool. And then
nice.
But
good segue. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's at the cons next year, I'm hoping to actually be DJing, which is what I would be most comfortable with. And people put me on a guitar or piano. I like it. It's just I don't feel as if I can perform as well. So
we can try to get you one of those guitars that's actually a DJ table.
Those are incredible. I've seen those. Yes. Yeah. I've seen those. The ones with like a XY crossfader on like the near the body of it. They're pretty insane.
Because nothing says style like taking something that is intended to be on a table and hanging it from your neck.
Yes, exactly.
So I guess meeting those musicians leads us to the deadmau5 story that you're going to tell.
Oh, yeah. So deadmau5 brought me into electronic music. I started listening to his music, when I first started working with FL Studio. And I'm sure, there are a lot of people, hopefully people listening to the show, who are interested in, producing music. You listen to deadmau5 and, you try to copy his sounds. And I'll just tell you right now, it took me 3.5 years to even get close to that. and I'm still working towards it. And he is just light years ahead of me in production. But I had the honor of working with the operations team here to actually bring him to the Naval Academy. So hopefully in April, I'll be able to hang out and meet with Joel Zimmerman, or Deadmau5 as he's known. So, which I'm just absolutely ecstatic about. I hope he doesn't, shoot me because I'm like acting all weird, and I try not to. I hold in my starstruck,
sure,
emotions. But I'm a huge fan. Like everything he does, like I'm very I think he's just an excellent representation of electronic music, and so I'm extremely excited to meet him. So. Yeah,
it's difficult to not fan squee the first time you meet somebody.
Yes, it is.
It really is.
It absolutely is.
I did. I admit it fully. I was like, you're. I like what you do.
and then it just, they're always just like, okay, thank you, and just walk the other way. You know what I mean? So hopefully, like the last guy you met, I don't know if you know who Brantley Gilbert is. He's another country artist. I had no idea who the guy was. Okay. He's a rising country artist. And I had no idea who he was, but it was my job to drive him around when he came to the academy. But I had to find him first, and I had no idea what he looked like. So I was walking around this huge concert hall trying to find this guy. And so I was like, all right, you know what? I'll be able to tell because he's famous, and it's pretty obvious when you see a famous person. So that's what I was hoping. That's what I was betting on. And sure enough, here comes this guy, dressed in a tank top with these gauges in his ears and spiked hair and a really loud, obnoxious voice. And I was like, that's him. It's got to be him. And I walked over and I was like, Brantley Gilbert? And he was like, yeah, what's up, man? And I was like, oh, okay, great. Because I had no idea. I didn't say that, but I had no idea who the guy was. So that wasn't quite as awkward. So it'll be a little different with Deadmau5 because I'll definitely recognize him from very far.
Hopefully you'll be able to recognize Deadmau5 by the looks and not have to
go
for somebody. Hope that he's wearing, the huge mouse ears and...
No, I just hope because I follow him on Twitter, and he's honestly just a giant. I don't know how to say this in the most polite way possible. A terrible person.
Okay.
He's he's not very nice, or he doesn't really care about it. So he's pretty interesting in that way. But unlike Skrillex, I actually got to meet Skrillex too, which is a really cool time. And he was just the nicest person you've ever met. He stayed behind, signing people's autographs and talking to people, talking to his fans, while his agents were literally, pooling on him to get him to the golf cart so he could drive off to his bus, so he could drive to the airport. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see if Deadmau5 is the same way. I highly doubt it, but we'll see.
It could be. We'll see.
Yeah. Yep.
Online personas are rarely exactly the same as person actually is, but we'll see.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's true. So.
That's why we have online personas, because if we're going to be the same person, why do we need to go online?
Hey, there we go. Good point. I like it.
Well, let's see. The album Immortal is coming out in the first half of the year. But are there any other projects that are coming up that you're able to talk about?
Honestly, everything I'm kind of doing right now is focused towards the album. I'm working on a song right now with my sister.
That's right.
The singer. She goes by Ava online, but her name is Susanna, and she's fantastic, very talented. I'll probably be releasing that sometime next month, just to keep people, interested. We'll be, but over the course of the next 3 months, me and my brother will release. Let me look at my list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm sorry. 5 songs. We're releasing 5 songs before the album is actually dropped, and then the album will have an extra 5 songs on it. So,
do we have a track number?
We do. The track number is 15 songs.
Wow, that's a big album.
Yes, that is why it's.
And I'm guessing the 16th one will be the polka with just varied vocals.
Exactly, it's a bonus track though. You have to buy the whole album in order to get it.
Done.
Of course,
no
the
problem.
polka track with the vocals. with what did you say? The accordion, the dubstep accordion.
Dubstep accordion, yep. Dubstep accordion.
You can't beat that. I mean, there's nothing better. While you were actually checking the newspaper, I was actually producing that beat, and it sounds fantastic. So
really,
you were
okay,
right.
yay,
Yeah.
good for me, yeah. Anything that allows more chances for Weird Al Yankovic to perform with people, I'm happy with.
Now, okay, I haven't seen the new episode. My brother was freaking out when he heard about it. Weird Al is on the next episode.
No, the upcoming episode.
The upcoming. Okay,
it's an upcoming episode. It's not yet.
Okay. My brother was trying to tell me that it was the next episode that was coming out, and I was getting excited, and now that's not the case. So, oh well. I guess you have something to look forward to.
Yes, it is coming. It is coming, just not just yet.
That'll be very interesting. I'm excited for that.
Yep.
I mean, he is Canadian after all. He probably.
Well, I mean, beyond that, William Anderson, the person who does the scoring for the show, not the songs, but the show, used to be in Weird Al's band.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Wow. I mean, I doubt it'll ever be publicly released, but that's my guess as to how it started.
I bet you're right. Mm-hmm. Wow. William Anderson is extremely talented. From just listening to the tracks, is my ultimate goal in music in the industry is to become a composer for film.
Oh, okay.
So that's my end goal. But this is obviously something I'm very interested in as of now, and it's I think it's a good way to get there. So listening to his music it's incredible.
Yeah,
it's very talented. I'd love to meet him one day.
Yes, that would be nice. He doesn't have a Twitter, which I know a lot of people are. Oh, please get a Twitter, please. But
yeah. Some people like their privacy. I understand that,
Well, as of recording this, I know that for the past few days, Ashley Ball, the voice of Applejack and Rainbow Dash, told Peter New that she was going to get a Twitter for herself. Right now, the only Twitter she has is as of recording this, the only Twitter account she has is for her band, Hey Ocean.
Right, yeah.
But that's for all of them. And honestly, it's a little bit rude to ask an entire group of people questions for just one person. It's,
right.
Yeah, a lot of people do it, but it really shouldn't be done. But anyway, and it's a band. You don't ask, whatever. But she did say that she was going to get her own Twitter, and she told Peter that she would do it, and he told everybody she's going to be doing it, and I'll let you know when she does. And I see, like, every 5 or 6 hours, Peter is giving out a tweet in response to somebody, no, not yet, I'll let you know. No, not yet. I'll let you know.
Oh, wow. That's pretty insane.
Well, all I can think of is if she was hesitant to do so beforehand, a rush like this isn't going to help, guys. Relax. Be cool. It'll happen. Yes. She said it. Exactly. He said he'll tell us. Be cool. Be cool. Be
exactly.
Cool.
That's wow. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to her, but I know her band is incredible.
Yes.
Their new album was awesome. Like it came out, I listened to the whole thing. My brother sent it to me. Like I loved it.
It's amazing.
So I find that surprising that someone that big in the show wouldn't be that interested in the social media aspect of it.
Well, I know it took a long time for Tabitha St. Germain to join Twitter. And it wasn't so much shyness, it was that she wasn't sure that anybody would get her humor. She thought she would be misunderstood all the time.
Oh, that's not, as we all know, it's not the case.
No, not the case, but that's what she was afraid of. And looking at her humor now, I'm like, okay, if my family were to read this, they wouldn't get it at all. I understand your hesitation. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's I don't know. I guess my sense of humor is a little bit skewed because my whole family. It's my brother times 6. That's our family. So
I've seen the Christmas video of the improv Christmas song, and
yes, that's when we're bored. That's what we'll do. We'll sit down and I'll just pick up a guitar, and my sister and my brother will just sing. And it doesn't have to make sense, but the less it makes sense, the funnier it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was quite good. I should. There are rumors, historical rumors. At one point, somebody made an opera, and the words to the opera were the Constitution of the United States of America. And from all accounts, everybody who heard it, it was a fabulous opera. It was amazing. but no records of it have remained. Nobody knows what it sounded like because anything that they wrote down was somehow lost. So I'm wondering if any family could do it, your guys be up for the challenge.
You know what? I think I actually have the opera in my storage compartment in the garage. I think I'll just go up there and just grab it, and then we'll just record it next time I'm home. How about that?
Excellent! Yay! I'm just thinking you sit down with a guitar and everybody improvs the sound, and just as long as they read the words, it's okay.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. I think that's gonna happen. Have you proposed the idea to Grey Kale?
I have not proposed it to Slate Bok Choy yet. No. Hey, it takes the lyric writing out of songwriting. We just have to get the.
It's so true. It's so true. You have that. I mean, it's halfway done right there. So
there we go.
Not a problem. Perfect. Oh man.
Well, a question that I ask in each of my interviews, in all of My Little Pony, what would you say is the one line or scene that defines you, or speaks out to you strongest?
That's a good question. I'll be honest with you right now. The first time I really started watching the show was this last semester with my brother, who took a long time in convincing, but he because he's so big in the community, I feel bad, because I love supporting him and everything he does. I want to just tell everybody about, and which I don't have to because he's obviously made his way in the community. But I wanted to understand more about it, especially because we're writing an album based on the show, which I don't know if it's the first album ever done that's completely surrounding this fandom, but
no, not the first.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not. But I wanted to know more about it, so I think the first one I watched with my brother were actually the Discord episodes, and something about Discord, because we actually wrote a song about him, which we'll be releasing in the next couple weeks here. So that was really one of the first things that I really say sparked my attention in the show, because when you first hear about it, the people, the haters and everything like that will talk about the way it's written. They'll just assume all sorts of things, from the pictures and the fan art and everything like that, but they don't look at the storyline or all the stuff that they look at the Hasbro part of it, basically. They don't look at the genius of all the writers and everything like that goes into it. So the whole Discord episode, and learning about, for the first time about the elements of harmony and all that stuff was really, really cool for me. And that really helped me get into the whole idea that, really the first part, where Discord finally, breaks out of his, statue of, his stone self and, appears in the glass, in that, that area. It was, and starts talking to all of them about, he says, "Oh, I would never turn, one of you into stone."
Yeah.
That was that, the I don't know, the funny evil of it just kind of captured the whole idea of the show to me. And I just from that point on, Discord's obviously a big. I like him a lot just because I don't know, he's new. He adds freshness to the show. It's interesting, but so that and then the other big part was talking to my brother about Luna. Which is this other big part, and we were actually writing a song about her too. It turns out that the people I'm interested in is the ones we write songs about, and the idea of banishment and all that stuff. I don't know. It's just a lot of The show's more deep than I originally thought it was going to be, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it seems to be a surprising thing for a lot of people. Oh my gosh, she sent her own sister away. Oh wow.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's definitely well thought out. I like it a lot. So.
All right.
Yeah, and obviously I'm new to it, so I'll be the first to admit it. I will be learning more about it, as time goes on, and but yeah, my brother's still getting me into the whole he's helping me understand it better, because
Right.
I can't just jump into, the middle of season 3 and just like watch
Sure.
it, because, I won't understand all of the storyline before and everything like that. So he's really getting me into it. So
yeah, I think that the show is really good at most of the episodes. Most of them, if you just sit down and watch that one and that's your first episode, you'll be okay. I think there are some exceptions. Some exceptions.
Right.
But I think for a large part of it, it's pretty obvious what's happening from the beginning, and you can, that must be the shy character, so I understand the conflict now. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that is actually true. From the episodes we watched after that, yeah, I have noticed that they're really good at creating their own plots around each episode.
Yeah.
Really, I guess the story is carried out through the double episodes.
Yes, that's true.
That's where like the everything is really brought out.
Yeah, the season openers and closers are usually the ones that what's going on here? Oh, okay, I got it now.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely excited to learn more about it, and so yeah, it's new for me, so I'm pretty excited. Obviously, with the music, and it's a good way of inspiring me to continue to write.
Good.
So yeah,
very nice. And with the imminent release of Immortal, I'm guessing that convention attendants would see performance of some tracks from this.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We have my brother already has a spot in I'm not sure which con it is, but he has a spot in some con that I forget the name of, and then we're both okay. We both have a slot for our actual album at the con this summer in Baltimore. So
okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely be playing most of our album at cons this year. So I'm really excited for that. I'm hoping that they pick up and people really get excited for it too.
I'm sure. And all you have to do is just bring an oscillating fan and put it right in front of his voice, so you get the voice chopped live.
No, he does this special thing where he'll just take the mic and just move it side to side, and it does pretty much the same thing. So it just picks up his voice when it's right in front of his mouth, and it sounds. I don't even have to do anything, so it makes my job that much easier.
That's a good idea. I can imitate that when I'm talking. So if I'm speaking, but
that's pretty good. Yeah.
But I've never tried it singing before. Okay, all right. Challenge.
Well, you know what? Don't worry about it. I can tune you. I have all those programs. You just talk, and then I'll just. You know what? We'll just have some choppy vocals over top of the polka dubstep. How does that sound?
How about some 1980s robot for you?
Oh, yes.
I can do a 1980s robot voice rather easily.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Do you have to like swallow something in order to get that sound, or is it just
No, I just have to
back of your throat?
Stress my vocal cords to the limit to get that. I can't do it very long, but a short time is okay.
Now see, if we had that and then we chopped that, like that's a whole other level right there.
Chop that in, chop the accordion, and in the spaces where the accordion isn't, put that.
The voice, yes. Oh, we have ourselves a new genre.
Excellent, yes.
That's it right there.
Polka 80s robots, dubstep. Woohoo! Come on, later.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna take it. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be in the works.
Well, everybody, today we have been speaking with Baasik, who, as far as I know, is doesn't have any family members in the fandom, but I'm not sure.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not one.
Check out Black Griffin if you'd like, but really check out Baasik's YouTube channel and his Twitter and SoundCloud.
Yes, I do have one of those.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And actually, all of my stuff is free on SoundCloud, so don't worry about ripping it off YouTube. Just go on SoundCloud, and it's all free. Free.
One of the best descriptions I've ever seen is in one of your videos. It says, "Nothing has ever been this free." That was beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, it is true. It is the freest you will ever find.
Mm-hmm. It's more free than anything you've experienced beforehand.
That is true. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming by and speaking with us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me on. It was a good time.
Yeah. Everyone, this has been Into the Spotlight with Osaka Jack on Everfree Network. We'll catch you next time.